What is going on, friends, and welcome into a very special interview I have with the director of a Sundance Films darling, Tickled. It is David Farrier, and he joins us in just 1 minute to talk about the very interesting twist and turn full documentary, Tickled. It's very interesting. He was a really cool dude, and hope you guys enjoy that. You can follow us everywhere in the universe. We're on Twitter at mmercado2333. You can like the radio show page on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. You can follow me on Instagram at Instagram Mike Mercado 2333. Do us a huge favor and subscribe to us on YouTube, Mike Mercado 2333, and you can see other cool interviews that we have with UFC fighters and other cool audio stuff we have there. And we have the brand new website, mercadoairwaves.wordpress.com. You guys can check that out and let us know what you think. And now here's our special interview with the director of the Sundance film darling, Tickled, David Farrier. What motivated you to go down this rabbit hole?
Yeah, I guess I'm a light entertainment reporter in New Zealand, and I was looking for my next story, and I came across this competitive endurance tickling competition in LA, which is as bizarre as it sounds. And, young men are paid thousands of dollars in cash just to tickle each other. And so I reached out to them for an interview, and they just emailed back saying that they wanted nothing to do with me, and then they hired lawyers, and then I thought, God, there's got to be a story here.
And the story really takes a lot of twists and turns. And it's funny, in today's day and age, let's just say a few months ago, we thought we lived in a certain world. And after everything that's gone on with the elections here in the United States, and then this film that you've made really just opens up a lot of eyes to a lot of different things that we thought were gone,
Yeah, totally.
But how often when you work on these projects does it take so many twists and turns like it did?
Never like this. I mean, I've seen twists and turns before, but, I thought I was getting myself in for one thing, and then it escalated. And then it was like that for the next couple of years. And, I mean, Trump's an interesting person to bring up because, someone with a decent amount of money, and this story is a lot to do with money as well and what money can do. And, one of the main questions we had was, where all that money was coming from, because, once a month, about 12 people from all around the world were being flown in and paid really well just to tickle. And where the money came from ended up being pretty vital to this whole thing.
Within the satire, there's also a message that you wanted to deliver. And for anybody who hasn't gotten a chance or are looking forward to it, what should they go into this movie seeing, or what should their mindset be?
Yeah, preferably, it's great if you can go in knowing very little, because then it's kind of the ride that I'd like you to go on. So first up, don't Google what it's about. Beyond, just don't bother. But I hope people learn a little bit about the way America operates, and how, truly how strange and wonderful this country can be. Because, as a foreigner looking in, I think I may have a slightly different perspective on things, and, the way the story plays out, it's so fascinating to me, how this country operates. And I think people will walk out sort of going, hopefully, to sort of being a little bit blown away.
So to you, David, when you do such fun, awesome work, yes, you get to see a lot of different things, and you get to experience a lot of different lifestyles and the way people view things. But when after this whole journey, what are the two things that one of each, the biggest concern that you've seen from after this, and the biggest reward you got out of this?
Yeah, I think the biggest concern really is, I'd never encountered America's kind of love of suing people before. That was something that I'd never encountered. And, I'd never been sued before, and there's been a lot of that around this film, which, once you watch it, you'll kind of understand why. Mm-hmm. But, the biggest plus was, there are a lot of victims in the story, and I think this film was a way to hopefully to shed some light on this, so hopefully that victimization stops.
As a filmmaker, does a project ever just kind of take a life of its own? Because I tend to see that, especially with documentaries, where it's supposed to leave one way, and it was a little bit about the twists and turns, but it just takes art, I guess, in general, just takes a lot of a life of its own. But how was that for you, just kind of seeing this project, this baby of yours, just kind of bloom into this?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting going into something thinking you're going to get one thing and then getting something very different. But there's this, I think it's, someone said once about a documentary, if you get what you expected to get, then it's probably not going to be a very good film. So, you've just got to go where the trail takes you. And this is kind of like an extreme version of that.
And can you talk a little bit about the crew and everybody that went into making this film? Because I think a lot of times people who just watch a movie just kind of see the forefront of it. But can you talk about the man hours and all the blood, sweat, and tears that went into making this project? And might I add, a very well-rounded, accepted, just beloved almost film.
Yeah, no, the reception's been great because, I made this film with my friends and we weren't sure where it would go. And, we ended up getting into Sundance and, now we're finally sort of out everywhere in America digitally, and we never expected that. And, it started as a Kickstarter project. We saw a story there, and so it started. We raised some money on Kickstarter. All of us were sort of working for free, and we went over to America to kind of chase the story, and it all escalated from there. So it was me and my friends, and we were very passionate about this crazy thing we'd found, and it all ballooned out from there. Very small team, very dedicated team, but I think I'm really proud of what we got.
Without getting too specific, because I also know that there's the wizard behind the curtain and whatnot. But when you have success with a film like this, and people have seen the talent that you and your team are bringing, what kind of opportunities does it open in general for filmmaking? Whether it might be one day in Hollywood or continuing on with work like documentaries or little smaller films.
Yeah, I mean, documentary is interesting. Like, I don't think unless you're a Michael Moore, you don't really make a lot of money out of documentaries. Like, you do it because you love it. But what's good, I guess, about having this on the radar is that, people see it and people hear about it. And so the next time you have an idea about something, people will, I guess, are more open to listening to you because this last thing that you did, did okay and people enjoyed it and you've proven that you could make something. So, I mean, that's the main bonus for me is that, other ideas I've got, people will finally, listen to what I've got to say.
That's awesome. Also, for any of filmmakers that are in college right now or just working into it, you guys are a perfect example of you found a project that you guys like. Some people may not have got it in the beginning, and it was just that passion continued, and you guys let the arts grow and breathe on its own. Do you have any advice for any first-time filmmakers or filmmakers that believe that their idea may not hit at first, or people may not get at first, but there's something there?
I mean, for one thing, I think if you're passionate about your idea, you know that, and you've just got to do it anyway, whether people come on board or not. And just start filming mainly, like big, borrow and steal gear. Stuff's cheap these days relatively to get into filmmaking. Cameras aren't as expensive as they used to be. And if you think you've got a story, just start filming. Like, don't wait around for someone to magically come along and give you $1 million cash to make your film. That's not going to happen. Just start.
David, everybody knows that you guys are part of this grind, and like you were saying, there's been a lot of back and forth since this process started. But when you like to unwind and whatnot, what is it that David likes to do to just hang out?
Oh, I love movies. I mean, I love documentary and I love narrative films. So no, I watch a lot of movies. But being from New Zealand, we're all about the outdoors. Like, I love the beach and going exploring in the bush and going on lots of walks. So I feel very connected to, I guess, nature in that way. But, if I'm indoors, I'll usually be watching films and TV. Like, I love the medium. I love storytelling in that way. And, you can learn a lot from watching, techniques as well as, learning about the topics in the films. But yeah, I guess for people that aren't into documentaries, I think some people think the documentaries, aren't as thrilling as like an action film or a thriller, but they really are. Like, real life is always the most fascinating thing.
Do you have any future plans to continue doing films? Do you plan on? Do you have something down? Without giving too much, because I know how those stuff goes. But in general, you guys got something up the old sleeve?
Yeah. No, I mean, I've been a journalist now for about 10 years, and so I'm happy as long as I'm telling a story. So whether that ends up being in another film or an article or it could be anything, a podcast. So now there's definitely plans floating around, but I don't know, that's something that I love about storytelling. It doesn't have to be one thing or the other. So depending on what the next story is, I'll just see how that ends up being told.
The movie is Tickled. Hey guys, so much good praise, and a bunch of the folks here absolutely loved it. And they were enthralled. 90 minutes passed really fast over here in the offices. But is there anything, you want to plug anything? Cool. Plug a website, some Twitter, Instagram, anything? Come on, my man. Let's shell out some stuff for you guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, if people want to see the film, I mean, it's out everywhere. It's on iTunes and Amazon and Google Play and all that stuff. But if you just go to tickledmovie.com, you can find our Twitter and where it's, how to watch it, everything there. And yeah, if you want to interact with us, Dylan and I made this film. We're happy to take any questions. If you're on Twitter, hit us up, and we'll usually reply.
You guys are awesome. David, before I let you go, I've been butchering your last name. It's David Farrier, like the golfer?
Yeah, that's perfect. Oh. Absolutely perfect. You're saying it perfectly. Farrier, yeah.
You are awesome, David. Thank you so much for taking some time for us, my man. Keep grinding. I can't wait to see what other projects you have down the pipeline.
Oh, thanks so much, brother. I mean, I appreciate you having me on the show, so thanks so much.
One last huge thank you to one of the directors of the movie Tickled, David Farrier. He was awesome to give us a few minutes of his time. Like he said, you could go digitally everywhere to check out his movie, Amazon, iTunes, Google, all that fun stuff. It is Tickled. Awesome movie. Lots of twists and turns, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. But that'll do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. You can follow me everywhere in the universe. I'm on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like the radio show page on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. I'm on Instagram. Just follow me at Mike Mercado 2333. Subscribe to us to see other cool interviews at YouTube/Mike Mercado 2333. And visit the brand new website, mercadoairwaves.wordpress.com. Thank you one more time to David Farrier. The movie is Tickled. Check it out digitally everywhere. For everybody here, I'm Mike Mercado. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day, and we will see you next time.